Hello and happy Monday to everyone. We are starting our first playthrough of Ace Attorney. As you can see, we have acquired the Trilogy. It actually was 50% off on Steam over Christmas, over the holidays and such. So I figured, you know, in all of our talk of games and stuff that would be neat to play through and share with all of you, why not Ace Attorney? Also, if you are wondering, we do have a new follower emote, though I'm kind of wondering, like, I like the hold it, because of course that's going to be a feature here. But I was kind of wondering, as you can see, I've got a little icon on the left. Is that it either would the icon be better with the hold it or just without? Because I have added some other emotes to BTTV, such as hold it, objection, even a badge emote. So if you know Ace Attorney, you know that there are going to be moments that you can spam those, of course. Hey, Soul Gamer, how are you? But yeah, I have definitely been looking forward to it, and I hope all of you will as well. Now, there will be opportunities for voice acting. I'm not going to do it all the time, unless people want me to. We'll see. I think I might do the first case just to give people kind of a taste, and just kind of get into the notion of me doing it, what kind of voices I want for people. But yeah, there are lots of wonderful characters, there's going to be amazing music, there's going to be a ton of really good writing for laughs, plot twists, all kind of stuff, you name it. It's been a long time since I've actually played this myself. The last time I actually played this was on the Wii years ago. Like back in like the early 2010s or whatever it was that was on the Wii shop. So it has been a long time since I've played this game. So this is going to be interesting, especially with how nice and shiny it looks with the HD remake of the Trilogy. So I hope we are all looking forward to that. I know we are. But yeah. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get into it. I'm probably just going to be playing on keyboard and mouse, because I know with investigation and other stuff that's going to be going on, mouse is probably going to be the best way to go. So we will see. But yeah, I'll also show you all the emotes we've got picked out real quick. Yes, if you do have a BTTV, you do have access to several free emotes that are going to be perfect to go along with this playthrough, as well as if you are a follower, you do get the new Bullseye 2 on Hold It, which is just a cute little iteration of myself as a lawyer. Alright. Right, for reals, we are going to get into it, so buckle up. Let's go. Hopefully everything looks good, sounds good. Okay, this is how you choose. Let's adjust something real quick. Okay. Hopefully everything should be looking good, sounding good. Alright. Ace Attorney. Oh. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Fun fact, here in the US in English, it was called Ace Attorney, or Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, but in Japan, I believe the term was Gyakuten no Saitban, or I'm probably butchering it, but Turnabout Attorney, I believe? You'll see. But that's why they always Turnabout. Turnabout is always in play with all of the titles. Alright. First turnabout. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Dang it, why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. Oh dear. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hi, Chief. Whew. I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kinda owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the Butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. That's just what I'm gonna do. Alright. Courtroom. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Well, hands shaking, I say fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Oh gosh. I have choices? Make a face. That's his chief or his boss's name. But no. Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Alright. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I've read the case report cover so many times. It's... wait. Uh-oh. No, no way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to open it any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Oh, handy. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was a defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Really? I mean, the suit doesn't clue you in, but whatever. Hey, Echo. I see you're using the new Hold It emote we've got going on. How are you? Gotta get used to this. Okay. Cindy's autopsy report. Death, 7:31, 4 to 5 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Of course, is the girl we saw in the beginning. Do you have profiles? Mia Fey. But Cindy Stone. That is our victim's name. Winston. Winston Payne. Oh dear. This is gonna be our prosecutor. I don't know how to feel. Alright. Cinder block, no. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was, well, we just read it, hit by a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Could you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue of the Thinker, it's rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Just have to check the court record frequently. Okay. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Oh dear. Ma'am. Mr. Butts, is it true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls anymore, or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you, and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. He being one of them. Lies. All of it lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Okay, we have her passport. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Hmm. Let's probably stop him from answering. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Ugh. Dude, Nick! What do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Well, let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accuser's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Next question. You entered the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Honest answer is always the best, even if it doesn't help. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah. I was there. I went. Order? Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Oh. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, it simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court. Mr. Payne, prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sowett to the stand. Oh. Mr. Sowett, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes. Mr. Sowett, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Well, we already know who did it, but... I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. And I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sowett used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. It was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright? Yes? Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? And that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is it your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with Tab and point out contradictions in the testimony. Alright, Chief. Okay, and I'm not going to be rereading the cross-examination, of course. Alright. So... oh, we have a bar. I'm fleeing the apartment. Okay. Okay, we can press or present. What are options? Oh, let's go ahead and save. Saving is important, especially if we have a health bar. Okay, this all checks out. How did you know she was dead? Are you sure she was dead? Well, no, I guess I wasn't. She wasn't moving at all, and there was blood everywhere. Guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well, what happened next? Hold up. Hey, I mean, it checks out with the blackout report that we got. You couldn't have, like, called anybody else or, like, asked the neighbors to use one of their phones? Why use a public phone? Well, you see, I don't have a cell phone. And being the middle of the afternoon, there was no answer at the nearby apartments. Still getting a feel of what kind of voice for Frank here. Ah, right. What time did you call again? I remember... ah. Hold up. Hold up! The time you found her, it said 1 p.m. I have something that says otherwise. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Got him. Oh, that. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawich, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? How many chances does this guy get? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. You heard it. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no. I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time. At least 3 hours off of the time of death. Correct. Video of a taped program? Hold on. A video? Yes, that would explain why the time was wrong. True. True. Right. I think the problem lies someplace else. We agreed that you heard the time at the scene, then. Nah, I got something. Electricity to the building was out from noon to 6 p.m. Objection! Hold up. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sawit? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. Objection! Squirrel, how are you? These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It, must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Alright, dude. Doing alright. Good to hear. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. What? You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Also, I do hope my voice acting isn't too grating or distracting or taking away from it. Because I know with games like these, it's kind of like either it's better to just read or sometimes it can be better to hear it depending on who's doing it, I guess. Again, I probably am going to finish out the first of this case because regularly I think the first cases are normally relatively short. That'll at least not be like too long of my voice, and it kind of gives y'all an idea of what it would sound like. Saw it. Saw it, huh? Wait, what clock? Table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Murder weapon. The murder weapon? Yes, the table clock that was used as a weapon. That's what I just said. Did you doze off in the middle of my testimony or something? Things fishy here. Murder weapon. This is not a clock.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? Oh, baby! What? You with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Saw It. Hey, I saw it there, okay? It's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. See. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. It's a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? He said he saw it, though. Yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he did go into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove it I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Saw It. Sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the victim's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw... Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and he should burn! Burn! Give him death! Well, he's angry. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor? And the sound Mr. Sawat heard was definitely this clock. In fact, a fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Examine the clock's batteries, ask the neighbors. No, we gotta set it off. Let's sound the clock now, here in this courtroom. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. It certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawat heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawat, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? You can't prove that. You don't have a case. Oh boy. That's right. How am I going to prove that? Dang it. I was so close. Alright? It seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. Which means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawat. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. Ugh, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawat. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. Chief, it's over. Can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. That doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Why would the clock be 3 hours slow? Wait. She was traveling? She went to Paris. Also, how good is this theme? Oh my gosh. Need a drink of water after all that. Not off the top of my head, no. How am I supposed to know that? I know you can figure it out. There must be some evidence in the court record. Something that can show why the clock was 3 hours slow. Find it, and he won't have a foot to stand on. Mr. Roach? Yes, Your Honor? You say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Do you have evidence to prove this? This is it. All or nothing. Yes, Your Honor. I believe I have the evidence that can prove my claim. I'd like to see that. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Well, we used the blackout. Used the statue. Ooh. The power was out for 6 hours. I think this is the only thing we've got left. Okay. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Ugh. Oh. Oh, order, I say. Well, the case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find a true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Woo! And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Frank Saw It let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saw It grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. Never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no! I mean, bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headline now. Harry Butts, innocent. Mia. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Won't that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Wait. So wait, if he made both of those, and she was carrying it with her to Paris, even though it's rather heavy. Here. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. Whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. Never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. In order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Oh, yeah. Part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? Oh, I like Mia. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." And I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry. Be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end.